No, absolutely.
Michelle.
1 second.
Testing.
Sorry, I had to get us.
Okay,
Okay, the meeting for April 27th, 2010 is now called to order. Gelfarb?
Here.
Mendocino?
Here.
Nyors?
Here.
Villanova?
Here.
Carbon.
Here. Goldie, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Deputy Supervisor Villanova?
Heavenly Father, bless this assemblage. Grant us the wisdom to make our every decision fair-minded and in the best interests of all its residents. And a special moment of silence for a local person who passed away, Sean McMahon. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Supervisor Villanova. Can I get a motion? Tonight's a very special night. You know that normally we have our meetings on the third Tuesday of the month, but this month we've done it on the fourth Tuesday of the month because we're going to hear from our students from Portchester High School, Blindbrook High School, and Rhinebeck High School have been working very diligently on trying to study the voter participation problem in our community and trying to come up with some understanding of why people in our community, the Rye-Town community, aren't voting more frequently and more often. So I wanted to get a motion, if I could, to move that up to the top of the agenda because I see a lot of parents and students here, and we'd like to get them in and out of the meeting and participate.
So moved.
Absolutely. Second.
Gelfarb?
Aye.
Mendocino?
Aye.
Nyors? Villanova?
Yes.
Carbon.
Terrific. Well, I'm going to introduce Professor Tobin then to start things off, and maybe tell us how you're going to proceed, if you would, Professor Tobin. Professor Tobin's from Duke University. He's been leading this project that's funded by the town of Rye and building community bridges. And so basically, Professor Tobin, how are you guys going to proceed this evening? Maybe tell the viewers at home a little bit about the project as well.
This was a project that brought together students from the three town high schools, and it had them doing what we at Duke and other colleges and universities are very interested in having our students do, and that is developing social science research skills. And the project this year focused on voting participation, and in the next few minutes there's going to be four of the participants from representing each of the three high schools who are going to tell you a little bit about what we did, what we found, and some policy recommendations. So I am going to pass it off to Charlie, who's going to get us started.
Thank you very much. Hey, Bishop, maybe just help him with the mic.
Can I bring this up a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Thanks, Bishop. First off, we'd like to thank the town of Rye for its support and opportunity to present our report tonight. This report comes from a college-level seminar that has united three high schools in Rye Town. Our focus was on increasing the voter turnout in local elections. We've concluded that voter turnout is important because it helps the government represent its town and its people more effectively. We feel a quote from a Spanish teacher at our own Blindbrook High School has captured the purpose of this seminar. She stated, "If you don't express your opinion, someone else will do it for you."
Thank you, Charlie. There you go, Sage. Perfect.
Okay. Our method for
I'm sorry, let's get it in close. We want to hear you.
Okay. Our method for collecting information focused on the opinions of registered voters. This way, we were questioning people who had the ability and opportunity to cast a vote in local elections. To collect data, we used a survey of 7 questions. It was set up in a way so that each respondent only had to answer 5 questions that pertained to them. We use surveys to collect information because it would be easier to analyze than a longer, more personal interview. Also, our questionnaire gave mostly choices for the answers, which we used to develop our study. Our survey was offered in both Spanish and English due to our diverse community in Rye. Our research looked into the opinions of registered voters. We asked these voters of their reasons for either voting or not voting. We studied the results to see if there were parallels in the reasons. Previous studies have also shown that there is a relationship between age and voting as well as education and voting, saying that as both age and education increases, the more likely one is to vote. Our final question in the survey was a free response question asking how government officials could improve the voter turnout. Our strategy for surveying was both a door-to-door process as well as a surveying in public places. We surveyed in public places such as Cole Shopping Center in Port Chester, Rye Ridge Shopping Center in Rybrook, and a high school baseball tournament located at both Rec Park and Port Chester High School. The surveying in public places increased the possibility of a wider sample for our study. It also allowed us to survey registered voters who had and had not voted recently. Our door-to-door method allowed us to survey a more targeted audience. We used prime voter lists to find out who had not, in fact, cast a ballot recently. We selected neighborhoods from the list in geographic and economically diverse areas. This helped us obtain information from our most targeted group, the registered voters who hadn't voted recently in local elections.
Thank you, Sage. Bishop, you might need a little help there again.
He looks like a smart guy.
Yeah, I got it. Hi, I'm Eric Brett. I'm a junior from Blindbrook High School. So I'm just going to discuss the findings that we had in our survey. So basically, I'm going to just talk about the most interesting thing that we found. So basically, in our survey, we asked everything was for registered voters, but for people who did vote, we asked them what were the challenges that they faced when voting. And then we asked people who haven't voted, and we said, what were some reasons that you didn't vote? And it was interesting because both groups said that the challenges and the reasons why they didn't vote was either a lack of time or they're just too busy. So I guess this really shows that people who didn't vote are making excuses. Like there's a deeper meaning behind why people didn't vote, because people who did vote had the same reasons why, like it was a challenge. So I think the town of Rye should stress the importance of voting. I think that's one thing that we might have to figure out a new way to do. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
I'm Allie, and I'm also a junior at Blindbrook. We have two policy recommendations based on our findings. We found that a major problem in voting was, like Eric just said, the lack of time. To solve this issue, we suggest exploring the idea of opening the polls a week before Election Day, as well as for the full hours on Election Day, to maximize the amount of time and therefore maximize the amount of people who are able to come and vote. So they'd have a full week, they could come on a weekday or a weekend, whichever is easier, and we think that would really increase the number of voters. The second major problem we discovered was a general lack of information about the candidates, the polling, and just the election in general, the entire election process. I speak on behalf of the whole group when I say that we are willing and able to volunteer our time to help inform and educate the community. It's something that's really important to all of us, and we'd love to keep helping. We asked the town to consider providing resources for a student-led pilot program targeted at juniors and seniors in the 3 high schools in town. This program would act as a pilot to be extended to the rest of the community if it was a success. So we would all like to work with our 3 high schools because that's the group that's closest to us and that we can relate to the most, and try to inform them about registering to vote and about the importance of voting and how the voting process works. And if that works, we would love to extend that opportunity to the rest of the community.
Actually, Allie, sorry, can I just, because those are very helpful, so the recommendation is to...
extend polling.
Yep.
And for us, we would love to have the opportunity to keep working